Your aloe vera looks exactly the same as it did 6 months ago, same size, same droopy leaves, same slow, sad little reset sitting on your windowsill. Meanwhile, somewhere on the internet, someone's aloe is exploding out of its pot with thick, plump leaves the size of your forearm, same light, same water, same species. The only difference is one ingredient. It costs about $2. You probably already have it in your kitchen cabinet right now, and once you understand why it works, you'll never look at a stagnant houseplant the same way again. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because first, you need to understand why your aloe is stuck in the first place, and it's not your fault. If your aloe vera hasn't grown in months, someone told you to do something that sounded helpful but was actually working against you. Maybe you were told to water more. Maybe someone said to move it into direct sun immediately. Maybe you were told to repot it into a bigger container right away. Thinking more soil equals more room to grow. All of that advice sounds logical. And all of it can quietly stall your plant for months. Here's what's actually happening underground, where you can't see it. Aloe vera roots are incredibly sensitive to two things: excess moisture and microscopic fungal activity in the soil. When soil stays damp for too long, especially in a pot without enough drainage, tiny fungal pathogens start colonizing the root tips. These aren't visible to the naked eye at first, but they are enough to slow root cell division to a crawl. Think of it like this. Your aloe's roots are trying to expand outward, searching for more nutrients and space, but every time a new root tip tries to grow, it runs into a hostile microbial environment. So the plant does what any smart organism does when the environment feels unsafe. It stops expanding. It goes into survival mode instead of growth mode. This is why watering more doesn't help. This is why bigger pots don't help either. You're giving a stressed plant more room to sit in the same problem. The plant isn't being difficult, it's being cautious. And once you understand that, the fix starts to make a lot more sense. Now, before I reveal exactly what this ingredient is, if you want practical, no filler advice on plant care, consider subscribing. I only post when there's something genuinely useful to share, not just for the sake of posting. Okay, here it is. The $2 fix that forces your aloe out of dormancy is ground cinnamon. Yes, the spice sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. I know it sounds too simple to matter, but this isn't some internet myth or magic trick. There's actual biology behind why this works, and once you see it, it'll make complete sense. Reason number 1, cinnamon is a natural antifungal. It contains a compound called cinnamaldehyde, which disrupts the cell membranes of many common soil fungi, including the ones responsible for root rot and damping off. When you apply cinnamon to the soil or directly to a wound on the root, you're not just adding a nice smell, you're creating a hostile environment for the exact pathogens that were stalling your root growth. Reason number 2. Cinnamon stimulates callus formation at wound sites. If you've ever propagated an aloe pup or trimmed a damaged root, you know the cut area is vulnerable. Cinnamon encourages the plant to quickly form a protective callus layer over that wound. This callus isn't just a scab, it's the foundation from which new root cells begin dividing. Faster callus formation means faster new root growth. Reason number 3. Cinnamon indirectly balances soil pH and microbial activity. Healthy root zones thrive in a specific microbial balance, not a fungal-dominated one. By suppressing the harmful fungi, cinnamon gives beneficial bacteria more room to establish themselves, and beneficial bacteria are directly linked to better nutrient uptake, which fuels visible above-ground growth. So to be clear, this isn't magic. It's basic plant pathology working in your favor. Now let's talk about exactly how to use it, because application matters just as much as the ingredient itself. There are 2 methods, depending on your aloe's current situation. Method 1 is for a stagnant, established aloe that hasn't been repotted recently. First, let the soil dry out completely. Check by inserting a wooden skewer 2 inches deep. If it comes out completely dry, you're ready. Next, take half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and mix it into the top inch of soil, working it in gently with your fingers. Do not water immediately. Wait 24 hours before your next watering. This gives the cinnamon time to settle into the soil structure before moisture activates it. After 24 hours, water lightly, just enough to moisten the top 2 inches of soil. Then return to your normal watering schedule, but only once the soil is fully dry again between waterings, within 2 to 3 weeks. You're looking for a visual cue. New leaf growth from the center of the reset, even if it's small, means the roots are responding. Method 2 is for propagating pups or repotting a root-bound aloe. When you separate a pup from the mother plant, or when you're trimming damaged roots during repotting, you'll have fresh cut wounds. Let those wounds air dry for exactly 2 hours before doing anything else. This is critical. Then, dip the cut end directly into pure ground cinnamon, coating it completely, like you would with rooting hormone powder. Let the plant sit out of soil for another 24 hours so the cinnamon can fully seal the wound. Only then should you plant it into dry, well-draining soil. Ideally a cactus or succulent mix with added perlite. Do not water for 5 to 7 days after planting. This forces the plant to develop roots outward searching for moisture, rather than sitting passively in wet soil. Now, here are the 2 critical mistakes that completely ruin this method, so pay close attention. Mistake number 1, watering too soon after applying cinnamon. If you water immediately, you wash the cinnamon away before it has time to bond with the wound or soil surface. The waiting windows I mentioned aren't arbitrary. They're based on how long it takes cinnamaldehyde to actually penetrate and neutralize fungal spores. Mistake number 2, using cinnamon on already soggy soil. If your soil is still wet when you apply cinnamon, you're just adding a dry powder into a fungal breeding ground. It won't work properly, and in some cases, it can clump and create mold instead of preventing it. Always apply to dry soil, or to a wound that has already had time to air dry. Skip either of these steps and you'll wonder why the cinnamon trick didn't work, when really, timing was the missing piece. So what's the actual timeline here? Underground, root activity typically begins within 7 to 10 days. You won't see this, but it's happening. Above ground, most people report visible changes between 2 and 4 weeks. This usually shows up as new leaf emergence from the center, firmer existing leaves, or a noticeably more upright reset shape. Some faster-growing aloe varieties can show results in as little as 14 days. Slower, older plants might take closer to a month. Either way, if you follow the drying windows and use fresh, food-grade ground cinnamon, you are giving your aloe exactly what it needs to break out of survival mode. Now I want to hear from you. Comment below and tell me exactly what your aloe looks like right now. Is it stretched out and leggy? Is it sitting completely stagnant with no new growth? Or are the leaves turning translucent or mushy at the base? Tell me the specific symptom, and I'll help you figure out exactly which method applies to your situation.